live on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Here's 3 quick stories you're seeing on social this morning. The Army's first openly transgender officer indicted on conspiracy charges for attempting to provide confidential military medical information to Russia.
And the wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas now cooperating with the January 6th committee. Ginny Thomas appeared in person for a closed-door interview with its members.
Daily Show host Trevor Noah is leaving the Comedy Central show after 7 years. His final episode date has not yet been announced.
It's going to be a long road to recovery. I mean, there's a lot that needs to be fixed. We've got a roof blown off, everything, and we've lost everything in the store.
Now we're learning this morning at least 15 people have died after Hurricane Ian tore through the Sunshine State. You're actually taking a look here at some of the flooding across the state of Florida. This is in St. Johns County. The storm has weakened, but it is now back to hurricane strength as it now bears down on South Carolina. Now we want to show some live radar at this hour. It could actually make landfall yet again today. You're taking a look at the storm right now. The National Hurricane Center says maximum winds have now increased to nearly 85 miles per hour. Again, a current look at the radar at this hour. A hurricane warning has now been issued from the Savannah River to Cape Fear, North Carolina. Now we want to check in with meteorologist Adriana Michaels, who has been tracking this storm for us all week long. Adriana.
Right now, Category 1 hurricane yet again, so strengthened back up quite a bit more too, and it does almost look like it's weakening ever so slightly, but we typically see a little bit of a kind of drop off in radar imagery once the sun sets, and that would likely indicate why maybe it's not looking as potent as before, but still obviously sitting at that Category 1 hurricane strength, expected to make landfall just north of Charleston, South Carolina, right around the late afternoon hours today, if not earlier on this morning as well. So definitely still something to watch. And as it moves inland, stays as a tropical storm moving through North Carolina into parts of Virginia. And then eventually here in the Miami Valley, we'll see an increase in cloud cover by the end of the day today and then into tomorrow. Maybe a chance for some rain showers due to this system. It is expected to stay a little further to our southeast, so not everyone gets the soaking rain, but it will still bring us very gusty winds.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis got an aerial tour of the devastation left behind by Hurricane Ian and spoke about the devastation left behind. Now, the homes washed away and infrastructure destroyed. Many of the houses along the coast are vacation homes or seasonal residences. The state's First Lady thanked corporations and people across the country for donating the Florida Disaster Relief Fund. It's now up to $10 million.
We're able then to communicate those needs to those nonprofits on the ground so we can meet them quickly. And so these funds make a big difference to help micro-target what we're seeing. And again, when we are flying over Lee County and some of these areas that were just devastated, they are going to need things like foods and tarps and what have you. And so what is not being supplemented by the state, which is a lot, we will be able to do in the private sector.
If you want to learn more or donate, go to floridadisasterfund.org or text disaster to 20222.
This morning, boots on the ground in Florida to help with search and rescue efforts. The Miami-Dade Fire Search and Rescue Team now working with the Florida National Guard to evacuate anyone who's now stranded due to impassable roadways. The task force is also using tractor trailers, high water vehicles, and boats to rescue people.
Amid the devastation, officials fear the death toll could keep climbing. Gloria Pazimo with our Fort Myers station has the latest on rescue efforts and mass devastation the storm caused.
As daylight broke Thursday, it revealed catastrophic devastation in Florida in the wake of Hurricane Ian. Entire neighborhoods underwater, power lines turned down, debris scattered in the streets. Residents in Florida now trying to pick up the pieces.
If I would have knew it was going to be this bad, I would have got me and my family out ahead of time.
Search and rescue crews from multiple agencies rushing to help people trapped in their homes. But in areas like Sanibel Island, it's impossible to get there by car because the causeway is the only connection to Florida's mainland, and it's now in pieces.
As you can imagine, it is pretty devastating. And what it really does is left the place almost unrecognizable in some places.
Hurricane Ian slammed Florida's southwestern coast Wednesday as a Category 4 storm, bringing life-threatening storm surge, historic flooding, and winds near 150 miles per hour. But it's not just the coast that was slammed. As the storm turned east, it dumped rain on central Florida, triggering freshwater flooding.
This could be the deadliest hurricane in Florida's history.
As Florida assesses the devastating damage, President Joe Biden saying the federal government will be sending funds for emergency response efforts. In Fort Myers, Florida, I'm Gloria Pasmino reporting.
Here locally, organizations are now looking for ways to help Florida recover. Our Claire Faith shares how you can help with a simple blood donation.
Here at the Community Blood Center, efforts are being made to encourage locals to donate blood in order to save lives in Florida. According to experts, it's a limited supply of blood across the nation in the Miami Valley, and they hope that this will encourage people to donate their blood.
That we're all being asked to help out. That way we can go to our donors and say, we know we're in low supply, but this is a situation where if you can donate, help us, but also help us help the folks in Florida.
And if you would like to donate to the relief efforts in Florida, you can go to the web version of this story on Dayton247.com, where I can find a list of all donation options. Reporting in Dayton, Clara Faith, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
And of course, we'll continue to bring you updates on Ian's path all morning long. To get breaking news, push alerts sent to your phone. Download the Dayton 24/7 Now app in Google Play and Apple App Stores. Just scan the QR code on your screen.
This was a scene outside the Marathon gas station on Needmore Road where officers issued a signal 99 or an officer's call for assistance during a traffic stop. Now, during that traffic stop, they say they heard gunshots. Officers say that officers did not fire any shots. However, one person was taken to the hospital. As we learn new information about the shooting, we'll update you on air and online.
And a former Dayton City employee now facing numerous charges related to child porn. Roshan Winburn indicted on voyeurism, endangering children, and pandering obscenity involving a minor. According to the Montgomery County Prosecutor's Office, the victim discovered a hidden camera that was used to spy on her. Winburn formerly served as a Human Relations Council's assistant administrator for the city of Dayton. He was previously charged with wire fraud and public corruption in a citywide corruption investigation.
Just into our newsroom, traffic on I-70 westbound was backed up for miles after several cars caught on fire on the highway. Now take a look at these images. We got around to the scene around 2:38 a.m. You can see blazes several feet tall coming from the cars and thick smoke. Several vehicles in that car carrier were completely destroyed. As soon as we learn more about the situation and what caused the fires, we'll keep you updated on air and online.
Well, the 19th annual Rubber Duck Regatta kicks off today. It's hosted by United Rehabilitation Services to benefit local kids and adults served by the organization. The event begins tonight at 8:15 and will include a virtual duck drop option. Ducks are $5 a piece or 6 for $25. We also have a 13 and 28 duck option available as well. Prize winners will be announced at the finale event.
Centerville Fall Fest returns to Stubbs Park on Sunday. Starting at noon, you can head out over to see 75 local artisans, merchants, shops, and food trucks. Not to mention the Oktoberfest beer garden with local brewers. Now, there's going to be fall family activities like hay rides, inflatables, and free pumpkins. Epiphany Lutheran Church will be collecting donations to help relief efforts in Florida. The event and parking are totally free.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Dayton 24/7 Now, we are going pink for the Women's Wellness Fund. Join us Wednesday, October 5th for an all-day telethon to raise awareness for breast cancer treatment and cures. You can donate now by texting PINK to 345-345 or by scanning the QR code on your screen.
Our time right now is 5:08. Don't forget you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather's on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
There may soon be new boosters for younger children. I'm Liz Bonus. What every parent should know when making the decision to get that shot for kids or not, we explain just ahead.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
This morning we are waking up to a pretty decent day here. It's a cold day here in the Miami Valley, but we're watching Hurricane Ian, yet again a Hurricane 2 Category 1 storm. It's looking a little bit less organized, but still very strong nonetheless, and is expected to make landfall later on this morning, early afternoon off the coast of South Carolina. We're sitting clear and cold again here in the Miami Valley, so we don't have anything when it comes to cloud cover concerns out there. Mid-30s though in our northern counties, lower 40s for the rest of us. So you saw frost yesterday. There's a pretty good chance we're going to see another round of that this morning too, especially since we are so clear and winds aren't super strong either. It's definitely already become a little more like late fall, this early fall. Technically it's still September and we're talking the 30s. And last year at this point, there were days that we were nearing 90 degrees. We had excessive heat watches last year. So it's definitely quite the change for a lot of us. And as we head into this afternoon, temperatures return a bit closer to normal for you. We'll top out today in the upper 60s and lower 70s, but those clouds you see increase today are going to be due to the remnants of Ian. And we're really not expecting much more than breezy conditions and a little bit more of those clouds too. So here in the Miami Valley, you can see the range just stays far enough to the southeast that it likely won't impact us in a major and significant way, but there is a small chance for rain late day Saturday. Into the start of next week, we're dry again. We really desperately need rain. We are sitting in nearing a drought issue, and another chance for showers would arrive Thursday, but it also already doesn't look like it's going to be that strong of a storm system. Definitely still something to watch over the next few days. And right now we're still following this incident at 70 westbound at Crestway Road. The two left lanes are blocked due to the car fire I think we had mentioned a few minutes ago in the first block of news for you. Right now, obviously, that is our only issue that we do have on our map. So just making sure that if you do plan on heading that way, it's not looking like backups are all that bad at this point, but that would be the only issue that we do have around.
Well, within weeks, the new boosters, which target Omicron, may be available for children as young as 5.
Dayton 24/7 Now's medical reporter Liz Bonus shares what parents need to know about it.
Hey there, everybody. Pfizer has applied for expanded authorization for its bivalent COVID-19 booster shot for kids ages 5 to 11. And since kids now really are at low risk for complications from the virus, there are at least 3 things right now, aside from that providers suggest parents consider when deciding to sign kids up for this new shot or not. When Avon, who's 7, got the current COVID-19 booster available for kids his age this week, his dad gave us the first consideration.
We wanted to make sure and come out and do our part.
The new bivalent boosters, only now authorized for those 12 and older, aren't just expected to help better protect younger kids. They are also able to better protect the people who come in contact with those kids.
Especially, let's say there's someone in the household who has immune suppression. You know, children can have mildly symptomatic viral infections and yet transmit them to adults.
And those adults can end up with serious complications and die from the virus. Second reason, infectious disease specialist Dr. Stephen Blatt of Ohio's TriHealth told me parents may want to consider bivalent boosters for younger kids. Long COVID. It's now so prevalent and different than in adults that overnight these new guidelines for treatment were released. Kids are getting crushing fatigue. They can't sleep. Many develop anxiety, depression, and horrible mood swings. Finally, third reason to consider the new boosters.
These vaccines work very well in preventing people from getting severely ill from COVID.
And that severe illness in children can lower their resistance to viral illnesses now on the rise other than COVID in kids. The CDC announced this week lab tests now confirm that cases of the rare polio-like virus known as EVD68, which can permanently paralyze children, continue to climb. Timeline, if these shots do get this expanded use, could be as early as mid-October. I'm medical reporter Liz Bonus. Now back to you.
Our time right now is 5:17. Cherry, grape, cool mint, and so much more. Pick your favorite and blow a bubble. Just don't get it on your shoe or in your hair. Just head for Celebrate Gum.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Good morning, everybody. Your time right now is 5:20, and it's time to meet our dog of the day. Today, our dog of the day's name is Maverick Casey, sending to us from proud owner Jennifer. They live in Jamestown together, smiling for the pictures here. So cute, enjoying being outside, sunbathing too. Trust me, I get it. Ruby is the exact same way. When she finds that sunspot, she's just got to lay down in it. Now, by the afternoon, we're back in the upper 60s and lower 70s today, so it will still be a very comfortable day, seeing some sunshine early on. And then by the afternoon and evening, we're actually going to see a little bit of a change in the cloud cover conditions because the remnants of Ian start to move in. And what that does is increase wind speeds. It will increase cloud cover, and then through the day tomorrow, quick round of rain is possible. Doesn't look like a massive widespread amount, but that is sitting a little closer to our southeast than anything. So there is still the chance for some showers for the rest of us as well. Once we head into next week, though, we'll stay a little bit drier for you too. And then as of right now, it really doesn't look like we're experiencing any major issues with that pollen count either. Right now, you're getting a live look at 70 at Crestway Road, where we did have a crash earlier on this morning that had quite a bit of an issue reported with it. The highway was shut down for a little bit of time. It has since then reopened, and cars are, bless you, able to get through and around it this morning. Otherwise, we aren't seeing any delays reported because of that.
Coming up this weekend on Full Measure with Cheryl Atkinson, there's a growing movement born out of fear that the global food supply chain is shaky. In Maine, a new constitutional amendment ensures residents to right the produce, buy and sell local food of their own choosing on a small scale. Now, one lawmaker who pressed for the change says insecurities were stoked during the COVID pandemic shutdowns.
When you're depending on food to come from a grocery store, and you go to the grocery store and the shelves are empty, where are you going to get your food from? It's going to take neighbors that, have chickens and eggs and animals and know how to grow food, having access to hunting, fishing, those sorts of things.
This week on Full Measure with Cheryl Atkinson, investigates the food sovereignty movement and worries worldwide. Now, you can catch that story and more coming up this Sunday morning on Full Measure right here on ABC 22 at 7:30 and then over on Fox 45 at 10.
Today's number of the day shows about 54% of all state legislators in the U.S. are Republicans. Meanwhile, only around 44% are Democrats. Researchers collected this data at the end of August. A National Scout Rasmussen survey shows that there are nearly 7,400 legislative seats in the country.
Online grocery delivery company Instacart is launching a new business initiative aimed at expanding access to nutritious food for underserved communities. Announced in collaboration with the White House Conference on Hunger, Nutrition, and Health this week, Instacart plans to roll out some new products, have strategic partnerships, research and policy advocacy commitments, all to help increase food security and make food more affordable and easier for consumers to make those healthier choices. Well, General Mills is investing $2 billion into a company called Grub Market. Grub Market is an e-commerce company. It connects farmers with consumers. The company is innovating in how fresh food gets to its customers. Meanwhile, a new study finds many Americans feel anxious about investing their money. The survey by OnePoll and Atom Finance found 71% wish they had more guidance when it comes to making large life financial decisions. In fact, 3 out of 4 Americans say one of their goals is to educate themselves about important decisions they have to make when it comes to their money. From the NASDAQ market site, I'm Monica Malpass with your health.
Well, get smacking today's National Chewing Gum Day, and it's been used over the years for enjoyment, to stave off hunger, and to freshen breath. You might think it's a modern day thing, but chewing gum actually dates back more than 5,000 years. Some early forms include tree bark tar, sap resin, and wax, but gum has come a long way since then. The first commercial chewing gum came out in 1848. A patent on chewing gum was filed 20 years later. Today, bubble gum is so popular, it's even a common flavor and scent. I've never been a big gum chewer myself. But
I do love me a good piece of gum.
Yeah.
If you do chew, what do you prefer?
Big League Chew. It's so good.
Are you 5?
Yeah.
I am. Look, you can't judge me.
The true one flavor, or they had the grape one?
I used to love the sour cherry was my favorite for the longest time, but now I'm on to grape, if I have to.
I love the, well, my great-grandmother, when we were kids, used to always have, I don't know why she put it in the fridge, always put like the OG Bubblicious or whatever.
Oh yeah,
flavor.
that made it really hard then to chew.
I know, but she would only give us a half a piece when we were kids.
It is a lot.
And it was out of the fridge, and I don't know. That's like a nostalgia for me.
No, not too much sugar.
I don't know what no, because then she would feed us the drumstick ice cream, and she was constantly feeding
Well,
us.
she knew she was gearing up for the rest of the day.
She just
like
didn't
the
want you to
typical
get choked
Italian.
on. Well, that stuff, like the roll of that, you can choke on that so easy though. I feel like the Hubba Bubba Bubblicious gum is it's such a big piece of gum.
It's a huge piece of gum for a little kid.
Yeah, for
so
a
I get
kid.
why giving us half, but then it's funny because she wouldn't cut it; she would bite it.
Yeah.
True grandma fashion, though.
True
honestly,
Italian grandma fashion.
That is
yeah.
So time right now is 5:26. Still to come this morning, the Pike County murder trial put on hold, while the judge hit pause and what to expect today as court will be back in session.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
In today's Tech Bites, Twitter is about to start looking a lot more like TikTok. It's switching to a full-screen immersive video player for watching clips. Twitter is also going to use the swipe up gesture to let users endlessly scroll through videos on the platform. The new year will bring the end of Google's Stadia. The video game streaming service is being shut down in mid-January. The company saying in a blog post that the platform hasn't gained traction. Google is refunding all hardware, games, and add-on purchases. Meta has unveiled a new artificial intelligence system that creates videos by converting text prompts into moving images. It's simply named Make a Video. Meta says it lets you bring your imagination to life by generating one-of-a-kind movie clips with just a few words. I tried to make one about Liam Neeson, but it was taken out of context. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
I've been telling everyone, the secret to great teeth is having healthy gums.
Keep yours healthy with Crest Advanced Gum Restore. It's clinically proven to detoxify below the gum line. And it restores by helping heal gums in as little as 7 days.
Because you can't have a healthy smile without healthy gums.
Advanced Gum Restore from Crest, the #1 toothpaste brand in America.
Your record label is taking off, but so is your sound engineer. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Indeed Instant Match instantly delivers quality candidates matching your job description. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
If you think all pads are exactly the same, think again. This Always Ultra Thin is our best yet. It wicks gushes 90% faster and absorbs even more for up to 100% leak-free and odor-free comfort. This is triple protection.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Here's 3 quick stories you're seeing on social this morning. At least 19 people dead after a suicide bomber targeted an education center in the Afghan capital of Kabul.
And the White House releasing their plan to end hunger in America. They hope to increase healthy eating and physical activity by 2030.
And the stunt car used in the latest James Bond movie, No Time to Die, was sold for more than $3 million. The franchise celebrating 60 years on the big screen. This morning, we now know at least 15 people have died after Hurricane Ian tore through Florida. This is some of the damage in Fort Myers. Now the storm is heading up the eastern coast. Winds are now nearly 85 miles per hour. The storm center is now near Charleston, South Carolina. They're now bracing for life-threatening flooding.
Yeah, here in the Miami Valley, it's been a pretty quiet start to the day, but we'll take another look at this imagery, the satellite imagery here for you. You can see just how strong Ian was looking a few hours ago, but actually kind of breaking up a little bit more here and looking a little bit more disorganized, which is good because as it makes landfall, it is expected to be a Category 1 hurricane, still hanging on to that 85-mile-an-hour wind speeds, as you just heard, but gusts up to 105 miles an hour are being reported. Again, making landfall a little later on this morning just north of Charleston, South Carolina, continuing inland and even here in the Miami Valley will potentially bring us a chance for a little bit of rainfall. So we'll definitely keep a close eye on that over the next few days because it looks like through Saturday afternoon there is a chance we could end up seeing a little bit of some shower activity as well.
Okay, so this is something kind of interesting. Is it typical of these type of storms to re-strengthen?
Well, so when it comes to something like this, we don't typically see it make landfall again. So sometimes they go off into the ocean and they'll just skate up the East Coast or just head in an eastern direction. It's kind of interesting because it went through Cuba, circled through Florida, and then is zigzagging almost, which is abnormal for a typical pattern of these storms.
Interesting.
How does this stack up against other hurricanes that pass through the Sunshine State?
So I do know that there are 4 Category 5 storms that made landfall off the coast of any continental United States for that matter. So this was a very high-end Category 4, so it will likely be a retired name at the end of all of this.
Oh, wow.
All right, well, thank you, Adriana. Right now, crews in the state are working around the clock to help find anyone who may be hurt. Now, you're taking a look at video of a rescue crew helping retrieve a group of people trapped in the floodwaters in Orange County. And of course, there are teams from across the U.S. looking to help.
Back in the Buckeye State, more members of Ohio Task Force 1 are heading to Florida to assist. Mamie Baugh explains when they'll arrive and what they're going to be doing.
Any minute now, 36 additional members will join rescue efforts. Now, they'll be working with the team of 47 that deployed before Hurricane Ian slammed Florida, leaving parts of it unrecognizable. By the afternoon, you will have 83 Ohio Task Force personnel assisting Floridians to pick up the pieces after the deadly hurricane.
For us to be able to go down there and provide that assistance, help them locate those people and solve those problems, where people are, who's missing, and rescue the necessary people. That is our goal.
At this time, it's unclear how long the task force will be in Florida to assist. Back to you.
And this morning, local churches are now stepping up to provide relief to those left devastated. Epiphany Lutheran Church, is collecting money to help. Church members will be at the Centerville's Fall Fest this weekend to collect donations. The church says that money will go a long way to helping people recover from the damage. And that church will also have a booth set up at the festival Sunday from noon to 5. They say 100% of the proceeds will then go to the Lutheran Disaster Response Team to help those impacted. You can also contribute online as well as at epiphany.org, There we go. So sorry about that. We will continue to bring you updates on Ian's path all morning long. To get breaking news push alerts sent to your phone, download the Dayton 24/7 Now app in Google Play and Apple App Stores. Scan the QR code you see there on your screen.
The state of Ohio is reporting its first monkeypox death. Ohio Department of Health officials not revealing where in the state that death happened. This is likely the second recorded death from the virus in the country. As of today, there are 276 confirmed cases in Ohio.
Right now, officials warning some of those cases of monkeypox are actually more severe than originally thought. The CDC reporting that some people have experienced debilitating symptoms like painful lesions, some of which have led to amputations and heart and brain inflammation. Most of these severe cases are seen in people, though, who have advanced stages of HIV. Scientists say that the same thing could happen to anyone with a compromised immune system. The majority of those cases in the U.S., though, have been mild to moderate so far.
The FDA just approved a hotly debated new treatment for Lou Gehrig's disease. ALS is a deadly disease with no current cure. The FDA gave the drug Relivrio a green light despite just one small study showing its benefits. This has sparked a larger debate about how flexible the agency should be while reviewing drugs for deadly diseases and how much it should listen to those desperate for treatment options.
This morning, the murder trial for George Wagner IV is expected to resume after a one-day delay due to illness. Now, the court wouldn't say who was sick when court ended Wednesday. The lead agent on the case had finished his first round of testimony. The prosecution gave no indication as to who the next witness would be. And this morning, you might notice all the purple ribbons hanging around downtown Dayton. They're, of course, to recognize Domestic Violence Awareness Month, which begins tomorrow. The ribbons contain resource information like a 24/7 hotline. The main goal is to spread awareness throughout the community about the presence of domestic violence in our area. They're also meant to show the community about the resources available if you find yourself in a domestic violence situation.
Today is the first annual Pink Honor Walk at the Springfield Cancer Center. You can head out and walk to benefit several funds that help breast cancer survivors. The after-party celebration will be held at Mother Stewart's Brewery, and the event starts at 4:30 and the walk kicks off at 5:30.
Our time right now is 5:37. Don't forget your headlines are scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Well, there's been an outpouring of support for those hurt by Hurricane Ian. Coming up, our Adam Arrow highlights some Miami Valley residents becoming heroes here at home and across state lines.
Planning for vacations can be stressful, but we got ways to help. Megan O'Rourke has some tips on how to save more and stretch your dollar.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
This morning, we're waking up to another round of cold air here in the Miami Valley, expecting impacts of Ian to arrive a little later on today for us. Right now, a live look at the skyline. We are sitting very chilly with the lower 40s around, even upper 30s in a few spots again. Almost a few degrees cooler even than yesterday was, and it's clear and there's not a lot of wind, so know that as you start your morning off, there's a pretty good chance that we're going to see some frost in places, especially if you parked outside last night and lived probably above I-70 would be the cutoff point for that. Most of us heading into this afternoon are going to end up sitting in the mid to upper 60s, some of us nearing 70 degrees. We'll start off seeing some mostly clear skies for the most part, and then by the end of the day today, see another round of maybe a little bit of cloud cover at times. It really should be a really comfortable day for us though, and then by the end of the evening, we do see an increase in that cloud cover due to the remnants of Ian arriving, so that's something to be aware of, is that we will see impacts through the weekend. It will be very breezy all weekend long because of Ian as well.
When tragedy happens, our area, of course, steps up, even when that tragedy is hundreds of miles away.
In today's Hometown Heroes, Adam Arrow shows us some of the people helping those impacted by Hurricane Ian.
Response nationally to Hurricane Ian, and that includes many men and women right here in the Miami Valley. Ohio Task Force 1 recently activating an additional 35 members. The team already has 47 members mobilized in the South, ready to respond for search and rescue missions and other areas as needed. The local Red Cross has 6 people already on the ground in the Florida area. 4 more are on the way. 15 are on standby. Volunteers are prepared to be there for 2 weeks at a time. Also, Tip City-based Churches of Christ Disaster Response Team getting ready to go to Florida too. They have a laundry trailer ready to go with 10 washer-dryer combinations. They're asking for donations like toiletries as well to help those affected by the storm. Also, AES Ohio sending 16 crews to Florida and other areas affected to help with power restoration. You can add it all up and you can see the incredible outpouring of support by the Miami Valley. Another example of how our area is full of hometown heroes.
If you would like to nominate a hometown hero, please head to our app and chime them in.
All we need is a few pictures or videos and a description of why they're a hometown hero.
Our time right now, 5:43. A new bipartisan measure could give states more power against big tech companies when it could head to the Senate.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Live on ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
we all love going on vacations, of course, but planning for them can be stressful. Dayton 24/7 Now's Alex King with some ways that you can stretch your dollar.
Here are some tips from You Need a Budget to plan a guilt-free trip without debt. First, decide on your vacation. Write down where you want to go to make it real. Second, once you do that, set your savings goals, set a travel budget, and decide how much you'll need to set aside each month to make it a reality. And third, now it's time to do some research. Find out all the can't miss places and plan your vacation about that. Don't forget things like airfare, hotels, and other travel costs. Doing this will help you give you a picture of your expenses. And then firm up your plan and then track your spending. Once you're buying tickets or making deposits to places, track it all down through a budget app or pen and paper. This way you'll know you're not spending more than you've planned. And finally, enjoy your vacation. To find more ways to stretch your dollar, head to our website, Dayton247now.com.
Right now we're waking up to what will be a little bit of a cooler start to the morning across the Miami Valley. So as you get ready to head out the door today, anticipate potentially a little bit of light frost here in the Miami Valley while we're still tracking Hurricane Ian. Right now you can see just off the coast of the Carolinas, the storm is definitely bringing a lot of very heavy rainfall with it. Here again, it's clear, it's cool, it's going to stay very chilly all morning long. A few of us have dipped into those mid to upper 30s, so anticipate that is something that's going to make you feel a little closer to the wintertime season than it should for this time of the year at least. And with those clear skies that we saw overnight, there's a pretty high chance that will continue to keep us very chilly through the start of the day as well. Not a lot of wind either, so that would be why maybe a little bit of frost is possible. Once we hit this afternoon, most of us are back in the mid 60s, and then we'll finish the day off today in the lower 70s, so a little warmer air expected. Now you can see those clouds increase, and that will actually be due to the remnants of Ian arriving here in the Miami Valley, and then into tomorrow, maybe a small chance for some rain, but it looks like it literally just grazes our southeastern counties and stays far enough to the south that we don't see any major impacts from Ian besides those clouds and some very strong winds. So again, just staying enough to the southeastern part of even Ohio at that too, that a lot of us really don't see rain when it comes to crossing the I-71 corridor near downtown Columbus. The next few days do keep us a little bit cooler though, in the upper 60s, lower 70s with no major rain chances expected. Right now you're getting a live look at 70 and Crestway Road here. We had a crash earlier on, a vehicle fire actually, that has currently still the left two lanes, or the right two lanes, blocked due to that incident. So cars are still able to get through and around it, but it does look like it is moving a little slower. So heads up to you on that. That is our only incident on our maps as well, so there are no other issues to report at this point.
Our time right now is 5:49. Thursday night football in the Queen City. Cincinnati trying to take down an unbeaten. Just ahead, highlights from Bengals Dolphins.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
In this morning's GMA First Look, exposing the scammers targeting Zelle users,
so that you don't end up giving all of the money in that account to someone impersonating your bank.
And this morning, Marcus Miles from Ohio telling his story to GMA.
The gentleman on the phone was really nice and just sounded like, someone who would be from the bank.
But he wasn't, and drained Mr. Miles' account. His story, one of many from across the country. Demi Woods, speaking to our station WLS in Chicago, lost $3,500. Our San Francisco 7 on Your Side unit hearing from dozens of consumers. Lawmakers are now working to make these money transfers safer.
The single most effective thing that can happen is for Congress to pass a law that says consumers are not going to be held responsible.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have the expert tips to keep your money safe from scammers. With your GMA First Look, I'm Will Reeve, ABC News, New York.
This is how it feels to do more with less asthma, thanks to Dupixent. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma and can help improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent helps prevent asthma attacks and can even reduce or eliminate oral steroids. Imagine that. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Who knows what you can do when you do more with less asthma? Ask your asthma specialist about Dupixent.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Live from the Watson's Weather Patio this morning. It is so cold out here right now. I highly recommend making sure you have the layers handy today. I am regretting the dress so badly this morning because my legs are absolutely freezing. But as we continue throughout the rest of our day today, temperatures are going to continue to increase as well. So although we're waking up chilly this morning, we eventually will end up seeing a little bit of sunshine by the end of the day today. That sunshine will bring us back into the upper 60s and lower 70s, so it will sit a little warmer than yesterday. And I think a lot of us are probably looking forward to a little bit more of a comfortable start to the day at that too. That will arrive tomorrow as the remnants of Ian also move their way into the Miami Valley too. Right now, some of us are experiencing some light frost. That is how cold it is out here. We are seeing clear skies, not a lot of cloud cover, and because of that reason, we are anticipating that frost potential to continue throughout the rest of our morning. Again, as we head into this afternoon, I will have a more detailed look at how warm we get and how long Ian's remnants are expected to stick around here in the Miami Valley.
A live look at Cincinnati this morning as Bengals fans are waking up with a smile. Thursday Night Lights visiting the Queen City for Bengals Dolphins, and it was a great start for Cincinnati as Joe Mixon gets some help from his offensive line, pushing him across the goal line, and the Bengals scoring on their opening drive. Now, after a couple Miami field goals, the game at 7-6, Joe Burrow connecting with T. Higgins down the sideline. He goes 59 yards for the touchdown. Bengals push the lead to 8, and just before halftime, Teddy Bridgewater dropping back finds Chase Edmonds. He does a little razzle-dazzle there, but the Miami Dolphins miss the extra point. It's 14-12 Cincy at halftime. Both teams would trade field goals second half with 2 minutes to play. The Bengals put the Dolphins away as Burrow finds Hayden Hurst from 2 yards out. Final score 27-15 as Cincinnati hands Miami their first loss of the year. The Bengals head to Baltimore for Week 5. They're going to meet up with the Ravens for another primetime game and Sunday Night Football.
Well, good news this morning following an injury last night to Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, who had to be carted off the field on a stretcher. Now, he was taken to the hospital after this hit right here during the second quarter. It is absolutely incredible. He then laid motionless for several minutes after getting tackled. The Dolphins in a tweet said Tagovailoa was discharged from UC Medical Center and flown home with the team last night.
A live look at the Capitol, where the House has approved an antitrust legislation targeting the power of big tech companies. Now, the bipartisan measure is a scaled-back version of a broader package aimed at companies like Meta, Google, Amazon, and Apple. It gives states more power in antitrust cases, allowing them to choose the location of courts that will decide their cases. It also increases filing fees for large mergers, bringing in more money for federal enforcement officers. The bill still needs to pass the Senate. It's one of several measures under consideration right now to rein in big tech.
Mark Zuckerberg says his company is making some progress on using artificial intelligence to create videos. The Meta CEO posted a 20-second clip on Facebook to demonstrate the company's make a video research. It shows short videos that were generated using terms like, quote, a teddy bear painting a self-portrait, and, quote, a baby sloth with a knitted hat trying to figure out a laptop. Those videos aren't perfect. They're low resolution, and the baby sloth, well, doesn't really actually look like a baby sloth. But Zuckerberg said it's harder for AI to generate video from words than still images. He says Meta plans to share a demo in the future. I have no idea what any of that means, so.
This whole Meta thing, they're really trying to push it.
I don't like that.
I don't think it's
like that at all.
really.
The AI?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
What, because that is it's basically saying like you can type in whatever you want and it will generate a video
of
that
some
fast.
sort. Yeah.
I feel like there's probably a
That's a
Twilight
Black
Zone
Mirror
episode.
Yeah, that's some Black Mirror type episode.
Oh
or
yeah, Black
something.
Mirror definitely for sure.
We've seen this before and it does not end well.
Does AI ever end well though?
No.
Yeah, never.
Terminator.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
So.
Anyways.
I don't know. Whatever you want to do, bro. Not for me.
Leave me out of it.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I'll leave my Facebook and Instagram alone too. Thanks.
Well, we got a lot more coming up on ABC 22 in the morning at 6.
Another big win or week for NASA. Coming up at 6, the amazing photos just released by the James Webb Telescope.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Live on ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
Here's 3 quick stories you're seeing on social this morning. The Army's first openly transgender officer indicted on conspiracy charges for attempting to provide confidential military medical information to Russia.
And the wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas is cooperating with the January 6th committee. Ginny Thomas appeared in person for a closed-door interview with its members.
And Daily Show host Trevor Noah is leaving the Comedy Central show after 7 years. His final episode date has not yet been announced.
It's going to be a long road to recovery. I mean, there's a lot that needs to be fixed. We've got a roof blown off, everything, and we've got lost everything in the store.
We're learning this morning at least 15 people are dead after Hurricane Ian tore through the Sunshine State. You're actually taking a look at video of flooding in St. Johns County. Now, the storm had weakened, but this morning it is now back to hurricane strength as it now bears down on South Carolina. And as we would take a look at radar this morning, this is actually a live look of the storm. It is bearing down on the South Carolina coast, and it could make landfall yet again today. According to the National Hurricane Center, maximum winds have increased to nearly 85 miles per hour. Now, again, this is a current look at the storm. A hurricane warning has been issued from the Savannah River to Cape Fear, North Carolina.
And right now, Ian still continues again to be at that Category 1 strength. Every update that has continued to come in this morning still puts it at a little bit of a lower end Category 1, kind of nearing tropical storm status, but looks strong, looks like it weakens, and then looks like we're also seeing it kind of pick back up a bit more as well. So this shows you water vapor and just how much moisture is associated with that storm. So right now, it again is expected to make landfall as that Category 1 storm just north of Charleston, South Carolina, making its way inland and increasing our cloud cover here today. Then by tomorrow, there is a small chance a few of us could see some rain, but it really looks like it centers a little closer to southeastern Ohio, so we might stay dry, but we're also tracking very windy conditions as the weekend progresses.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis got an aerial tour of the devastation left behind by Hurricane Ian and spoke about the devastation left behind. Now, the homes washed away and infrastructure destroyed. Many of the houses along the coast are vacation homes or seasonal residences. The state's First Lady thanked corporations and people across the country for donating to the Florida Disaster Fund. It's now up to $10 million.
We're able then to communicate those needs to those nonprofits on the ground so we can meet them quickly. And so these funds make a big difference to help micro-target what we're seeing. And again, when we are flying over Lee County and some of these areas that were just devastated, they are going to need things like foods and tarps and what have you. And so what is not being supplemented by the state, which is a lot, we will be able to do in the private sector.
If you want to learn more or donate, go to floridadisasterfund.org or text disaster to 20222.
This morning, boots on the ground in Florida to help with search and rescue efforts. The Miami-Dade Fire Search and Rescue Team is now working with the Florida National Guard to evacuate anyone who is stranded due to impassable roadways. The task force also using tractor trailers, high water vehicles, and boats to rescue people. Now, here locally, organizations are looking for ways to help the Floridians, recover. Our Clara Faith shows you or shares how you can help with a simple blood donation.
Here at the Community Blood Center, efforts are being made to encourage locals to donate blood in order to save lives in Florida. According to experts, it's a limited supply of blood across the nation in the Miami Valley, and they hope that this will encourage people to donate their blood.
That we're all being asked to help out. That way we can go to our donors and say, we know we're in low supply, but this is a situation where if you can donate, help us, but also help us help the folks in Florida.
And if you would like to donate to the relief efforts in Florida, you can go to the web version of this story on Dayton247.com, where I compiled a list of all donation options. Reporting in Dayton, Clara Faith, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
We will continue to bring you updates on Ian's path all morning long. To get breaking news push alerts sent right to your phone, download the Dayton 24/7 Now app in Google Play and Apple App Stores. All you got to do is scan that QR code on your screen.
This was taken outside a Marathon gas station on Needmore Road, where officers issued a signal 99 or officers call for assistance during a traffic stop. During that traffic stop, they say they heard gunshots. Officers say that officers did not fire any shots. However, one person was taken to the hospital. As we continue to learn new information about the shooting, we will update you both on air and online.
A former Dayton City employee now facing numerous charges related to child porn. Roshan Winburn indicted on voyeurism, endangering children, and pandering obscenity involving a minor. According to the Montgomery County Prosecutor's Office, the victim discovered a hidden camera that was used to spy on her. Winburn formerly served as a Human Relations Council's assistant administrator for the city of Dayton. He was previously charged with wire fraud and public corruption in a citywide corruption investigation.
Just into our newsroom, traffic on I-70 westbound was backed up for miles after several cars caught fire on the highway. Now take a look at these images. We got at the scene around 2:38 a.m. You could see blazes several feet tall coming from the cars in thick smoke. Several vehicles were completely destroyed. As we learn more about this situation and what caused the fires, we'll keep you updated both on air and online.
The 19th annual Rubber Duck Regatta kicks off today. It's hosted by United Rehabilitation Services to benefit local kids and adults served by the organization. Now, the event begins tonight at 8:15 and will include a virtual duck drop option. Ducks are $5 a piece or 6 for $25. Now, 13 and 28 duck options are also available. Prize winners will be announced at the finale event. And then, of course, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Things kicking off tomorrow. Dayton 24/7 now going pink for Women's Wellness Fund. Join us Wednesday, October 5th for an all-day telethon to raise awareness for breast cancer treatment and cures. You can donate now by texting PINK to 345-345 or by scanning the QR code on your screen.
Our time right now is 6:06. Don't forget and get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
Your weather, of course, on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
There's been an outpouring of support for those hurt by Hurricane Ian. Coming up, our Adam Arrow highlights some Miami Valley residents becoming heroes here and at home and across the state.
And Kings Island Halloween Haunt has returned to the amusement park. We're going to be out here all morning long, giving you an inside look at some of the spooktacular amusement.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Been a quiet start to the day here again in the Miami Valley, so another morning where we're very chilly, not very breezy, but still a little cold. And with no wind, clear skies, cold temperatures, we typically see frost form, and there are quite a few of us that have dropped into the upper 30s this morning. So no, you're going to want to bundle up today, and this is probably one of our coldest days of the next few, so we should get a little nicer as the weekend progresses. Today by this afternoon too, we're even going to sit in the upper 60s and lower 70s, so it definitely will start to feel a lot nicer for us by the end of the day today. You can see no rain chances expected this afternoon, and truthfully, we don't see much cloud cover until the end of the day either, and the clouds do move in because of Ian. So as currently Hurricane Ian moves in, we do end up seeing the impacts of just the forms of cloud cover by the end of the day today and into tomorrow. Now, we are sitting in the 70s this afternoon, and 73 is normal, so a little closer to those normal highs for this time of the year, especially given the last few days have been so cold. Right now, you're getting a live look at 70 at Crestway Road, where we're starting to see traffic pick up just a little bit more. So right now, the right two lanes are closed in the westbound direction, and cars are only able to get through using the left-hand lane there, as there was a vehicle fire earlier this morning. So we are still watching this very closely. It's been ongoing for quite some time. Cars, again, still able to access the highway at this point, but as the morning gets busier, we'll need to definitely keep a close eye on any congestion building here.
New this morning, roller coasters aren't the only attractions making people scream at Kings Island right now.
Halloween Haunt is officially kicked off with all kinds of bone-chilling experiences. Dayton 24/7's Alex King is live at the park this morning. And Alex, who are you with there?
That's right. I am here with Chad Showalter, who's the director of communications. And you know what? Kings Island isn't just known for its roller coasters. It's known for the many events that you guys host as well. And you may recognize where we're at. It's a little dark, but we're here along International Street. And you guys have, it's seen a transformation. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, International Street has been completely transformed, just like the rest of the park, for Halloween Haunt. When our guests come through the turnstiles tonight, they're going to see Kings Island like they don't see it the rest of the year. And we look forward to Halloween Haunt every year just to show our guests a little bit of a different experience when they come to Kings Island.
I love that so much. And of course, you can find more information about all of that. Visit kingsisland.com for more. But talk about, I know you guys have some new attractions this year, but you have all kinds of stuff. So talk a little bit about that.
We do. We have the traditional haunted mazes. Of course, we have that. One of our new ones is Hotel St. Michel, which is themed to a 1920s abandoned hotel. Well, at least we thought it was abandoned. You may run into some folks along the way as you make your way through that maze. We have scare zones, which are walk-through attractions that you don't have to wait in line for. And we have a new one of those this year over by our new roller coaster, Orion, called Alien X. Aliens and extraterrestrial themed over there. And we have two new shows this year. One I'm excited about is Nightwalkers, which is a acrobatic stunt show with zombies. So a lot to see here at Halloween Haunt this year.
Oh my gosh, so exciting. We're going to be taking you through the park, showing you all the different attractions. We're going to be heading over to one coming up next. And of course, you can find more information on our website, Dayton247now.com. Live in Kings Mills, Alex King, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Well, it's one of the best things to do for Halloween. My apologies. Our time right now, the script was not there. 6:13. Planning for a vacation can be stressful, and there are ways to help. We've got more in Stretching Your Dollar just ahead.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
When tragedy happens, our area always steps up, even when that tragedy is hundreds of miles away.
In today's Hometown Heroes, Adam Arrow shows us some of the people helping those impacted by Hurricane Ian.
Response nationally to Hurricane Ian, and that includes many men and women right here in the Miami Valley. Ohio Task Force 1 recently activating an additional 35 members. The team already has 47 members mobilized in the South, ready to respond for search and rescue missions and other areas as needed. The local Red Cross has 6 people already on the ground in the Florida area. 4 more are on the way. 15 are on standby. Volunteers are prepared to be there for 2 weeks at a time. Also, Tip City-based Churches of Christ Disaster Response Team getting ready to go to Florida too. They have a laundry trailer ready to go with 10 washer-dryer combinations. They're asking for donations like toiletries as well to help those affected by the storm. Also, AES Ohio sending 16 crews to Florida and other areas affected to help with power restoration. You can add it all up and you can see the incredible outpouring of support by the Miami Valley. Another example of how our area is full of hometown heroes.
Well, if you'd like to nominate a hometown hero, please go to our app and chime them in.
All we need is a few pictures or videos and a description of why they're a hometown hero.
This morning across the Miami Valley, it's been a pretty easy start to the day so far, but we are still keeping a very close eye on Ian, currently sitting at a Category 1 hurricane. So you're seeing that kind of making its way further inland, again making landfall for a 3rd time off the coast of South Carolina and impacting North Carolina at that too. Lots of flooding concerns ongoing. It does look like we got our first flash flood warning just near Charleston. Now we are quiet here in the Miami Valley. It's another clear start to the day and a very cold one at that, with the mid-30s around lower 40s in spots. We are seeing frost in some of our northern counties again today, so if you are one of those that might have mums planted or anything else outside, just be aware that frost is still possible through the next few days too, so maybe you opt to cover those up or bring them in the house. Now by this afternoon we're staying clear. We're going to enjoy a little bit of a warmer afternoon though, because we'll top out today in the lower 70s, and those clouds you see increase today are actually due to the remnants of Ian starting to arrive here in the Miami Valley. So Ian's expected to make landfall later this afternoon as a Category 1 hurricane and then expected to make its way further inland as well. The good news is, though, well, also kind of the bad news, depends on how you look at it. We really need the rain, but also rain on the weekends isn't fun. We are expecting the rain to stay mostly to our southeast, so we'll actually stay dry through most of the weekend. There's a small chance for showers on Saturday. By Sunday, very windy, and then through the start of next week, we're still sitting dry. A little warmer, though, in the upper 60s, lower 70s. Next chance for rain returns once we head into Thursday. Right now you're getting a live look 70 at Crestway Road. This would be the westbound lanes that are being impacted by an incident that has the right 2 lanes blocked at this point. So we weren't really seeing a problem earlier. I think things are a little bit slower moving now that we're getting busier. So again, westbound on I-70 near Hoke Road, Crestway, whatever direction you're heading, this is going to cause a little bit of a delay. So maybe you opt for a reroute early on this morning.
Topping this morning's Dayton Business Journal headlines, Huber Heights City Schools starting an $8.6 million expansion and renovation of Wayne High School. It's to support students who are interested in trade careers like welding, HVAC, and construction. A nearly 12,000 square foot career tech center designed to prepare students for those trades will be added to the school's Performing Arts Theater. The project's already underway and will be done by the 2023 school year. To read more about this story and others like it, head to Dayton247now.com, click on the news tab, and select Dayton Business Journal.
We all love going on vacation, of course, but planning for them can be really stressful. And Dayton 24/7 Now's Alex King has some ways you can stretch your dollar.
Here are some tips from You Need a Budget to plan a guilt-free trip without debt. First, decide on your vacation. Write down where you want to go to make it real. Second, once you do that, set your savings goals, set a travel budget, and decide how much you'll need to set aside each month to make it a reality. And third, now it's time to do some research. Find out all the can't miss places and plan your vacation about that. Don't forget things like airfare, hotels, and other travel costs. Doing this will help you give you a picture of your expenses. And then firm up your plan and then track your spending. Once you're buying tickets or making deposits to places, track it all down through a budget app or pen and paper. This way you'll know you're not spending more than you've planned. And finally, enjoy your vacation. To find more ways to stretch your dollar, head to our website, Dayton247now.com.
6:22, our time right now, still to come. Thursday night football in the Queen City. Cincinnati trying to take down an unbeaten just ahead. Highlights from the Bengals and Dolphins.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Beat the Stigma, sponsored by the Ohio Opioid Education Alliance.
I think the pandemic has really shined a light on the challenges with mental health and addiction issues.
Lori Chris with the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services knows firsthand what it takes to really fight those issues head on.
We've expanded treatment access and expanded recovery supports in Ohio. We've initiated new crisis efforts across the state, and a lot of headway.
One of the ways state leaders are doing it is through the Beat the Stigma campaign.
Cameron. Making bad choices.
And so really it's a way to help all Ohioans be able to see themselves as that game show contestant.
And that's key, beating the stigma on mental health and addiction issues.
Stigma is one of the main reasons people don't get help. They don't know where to go is one of them, and they're embarrassed or ashamed to ask for help. And so this campaign has really taken that barrier.
Another barrier they've broken, saving countless lives, all through naloxone kits that were passed out by health departments across the state.
Last year we had over 15,000 overdose reversals in the state of Ohio just through those kits.
Even if you're a family member who knows a loved one needs help, it's there. Hope and change, just a phone call away.
They can call 988 if they're in crisis.
Challenge what you know about mental health and addiction by visiting beatthestigma.org.
Good morning, everybody. Your time right now is 6:26, and it's time to meet our dog of the day. Today we have Maverick Casey, who posed and smiled perfectly for this photo. Now, Maverick was sent in to us from proud owner Jennifer. They live in Jamestown together, and it's going to be another nice day to get outside. A little warmer, similar to how yesterday was for us. Very comfortable, and we'll start off clear, but actually see clouds increase this evening due to the remnants of Ian arriving here. Now, through tomorrow, there's a small chance for some shower activity. Once we head into Sunday, Ian officially makes its way out, and we will just sit very, very windy because of it, I should say. Now, by the start of next week, most of us are in the upper 60s, lower 70s, and then by Thursday, we're tracking that chance for rain returning. We really desperately need showers, but the best part of it being so dry is the fact that the mold pollen has actually dropped to the low levels, so there's really no major issues when it comes to pollen around right now. And right now, too, on our roads, we're tracking 70 westbound at Crestway. You can see an incident there that has the right two lanes blocked currently, and that's been ongoing for quite some time now. We are starting to see a little bit more of a backup, a little more of a delay forming. So just a heads up as you head out the door today, this is going to cause concerns again 70 westbound near Hoke Road or Crestway Road if you travel that way this morning.
A live look at Cincinnati this morning as Bengal fans are waking up with a smile. Thursday night lights visiting the Queen City for Bengals Dolphins. It was a great start for Cincinnati's Joe Mixon. He's going to get some help from his offensive line as they push him into the end zone for the touchdown. Bengals score on their opening drive, and after a couple of Miami field goals in the games at 7-6, Joe Burrow's launching it deep here along the sideline to T. Higgins. He goes 59 yards for the score. The Bengals push the lead to 8. And just before halftime, Teddy Bridgewater finds Chase Edmonds here. Shovel pass. He's working his way into the end zone. But the Dolphins, they're going to miss extra point. It's now 14-12. Cincy at halftime. Both teams would trade field goals in the second half with 2 minutes to play. The Bengals put the Dolphins away with this pass to Hayden Hurst from 2 yards out. Oh, yeah. Cincinnati is certainly thrilled this morning. Final score 27-15. As the Bengals hand Miami their first loss of the season, now they head to Baltimore for Week 5. They're going to meet up with the Ravens for another primetime game on Sunday Night Football.
6:29 our time right now. The Wagner Pike County murder trial now put on hold. Why the judge hit pause and what to expect today as the court will be back in session.
But first, here's Genevieve Gorder with America's Steals and Deals.
The following segment is sponsored by Naki.
Oh, guys, it's time to talk about teeth. There's nothing more powerful on your face than a beautiful smile. But did you know that having a healthy smile has a direct effect on your overall health? Super Smile is a professional at-home teeth whitening system which removes plaque, stains, and bacteria. So your teeth aren't just getting whiter, they're actually getting healthier. Super Smile is the #1 whitening toothpaste among cosmetic dentists, and it was developed by a world-famous cosmetic dentist to the stars. It is the only brand powered by Calprox, a safe ingredient that gently whitens and cleans teeth without causing sensitivity. So many times you stop whitening your teeth because after a few days it's just so uncomfortable. With Super Smile, you do not have that issue. So no more messy trays, just brush and whiten, and it's safe for natural teeth, veneers, caps, and dentures. You can restore them to the original color, and most people see results in just 5 days. And the teeth whitening gum, also with Calprox, is a great thing just to throw in your bag. If you have a cup of coffee in the morning, pop in a piece of gum, glass of wine, and take care of it with a piece of gum. What are you waiting for? Affordable, professional teeth whitening is now available right at home. And we have a really special offer today on Super Smiles. So take advantage of it. Take care of yourself. Go to asadeals.com.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Here's 3 quick stories you're seeing on social this morning. At least 19 people are dead after a suicide bomber targeted an education center in the Afghan capital of Kabul.
Now, the White House releasing their plan to end hunger in America. They're hoping to increase healthy eating and physical activity by 2030.
And the stunt car used in the latest James Bond movie, No Time to Die, was sold for more than $3 million. The franchise is celebrating 60 years on the big screen.
This morning, we now know at least 15 people have died after Hurricane Ian tore through Florida. This is some of the damage in Fort Myers. Now the storm is heading up the eastern coast. Now winds are now nearly 85 miles per hour. The storm center near Charleston, South Carolina. They are now bracing for life-threatening flooding.
And right now we are still keeping an eye on this system as it does continue to move closer to the coast of South Carolina. Just near Charleston, we did see a flash flood warning issued, and this hasn't even made landfall yet. Now the brighter red colors there indicate very heavy, significant amounts of moisture, and we're seeing that more inland, again moving north into North Carolina, seeing that heavy rain. But this is expected to make landfall just north of Charleston as that Category 1 hurricane with some very strong gusty winds as well. And then as we head into the day today, clouds increase. Tomorrow, rain chances are possible, but a little lower, and then this eventually makes its way out. And we don't see Ian impacts beyond the later part of Saturday. Sunday looks like it will be dry, but incredibly windy, so just prep ahead of time for very strong gusty winds. The next few days should be a little bit warmer here in the Miami Valley, though, which will kind of make a difference for us, too.
So as this storm is now moving up the coast, what do you expect to see once it makes landfall yet again?
It does look like it weakens pretty quickly, so it will make landfall potentially as that Category 1 hurricane and then eventually become a tropical storm as it makes its way through North Carolina, and then it kind of zigzags even closer to us. So it's traveling in an odd direction. It's kind of just, honestly, it's had a mind of its own since the moment that we've really seen it form.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that it's going to get all the way up here.
Yeah, so today we'll start to see the clouds from it and then a small chance for rain tomorrow, but it doesn't look like it should be a widespread issue for us, at least here.
All right, Adriana, thank you so much. And right now, crews in this state are working around the clock to help find anyone who may be hurt. Now, you're taking a look at video of a rescue crew helping retrieve a group of people trapped in the floodwaters in Orange County. Of course, there are teams from across the U.S. looking to help as well.
Back in the Buckeye State, more members of Ohio Task Force 1 heading to Florida to assist. Mamie Baugh explains when they're going to arrive and what they're going to do.
Any minute now, 36 additional members will join rescue efforts. Now, they'll be working with the team of 47 that deployed before Hurricane Ian slammed Florida, leaving parts of it unrecognizable. By the afternoon, you will have 83 Ohio Task Force personnel assisting Floridians to pick up the pieces after the deadly hurricane.
For us to be able to go down there and provide that assistance, help them locate those people and solve those problems, where people are, who's missing, and rescue the necessary people. That is our goal.
At this time, it's unclear how long the task force will be in Florida to assist. Back to you.
And local churches are now stepping up to help provide relief to those devastated. Epiphany Lutheran Church is collecting money to help. Church members will be at the Centerville's Fall Fest this coming weekend to collect donations. The church says that money will go a long way to helping people recover from the damage. And the church will have a booth set up at the festival on Sunday from noon to 5. They say 100% of those proceeds will go to the Lutheran Disaster Response Team to help those who are impacted. Now, you can also contribute online as well at theepiphanydayton.org. We will continue to bring you updates on Ian's path all morning long. To get breaking news push alerts sent right to your phone, download the Dayton 24/7 Now app in Google Play and Apple App Stores. Scan the QR code you see there on your screen.
The state of Ohio is reporting its first monkeypox death. The Ohio Department of Health officials not revealing where in the state that death happened. This is likely a second recorded death from the virus in the country. As of today, there are 276 cases in Ohio.
And this morning, the murder trial for George Wagner IV is expected to resume after a one-day delay due to illness. Now, the court wouldn't say who was sick. When court ended Wednesday, the lead agent on the case had finished his first round of testimony. The prosecution gave no indication as to who the next witness would be. And today is the first annual Pink Honor Walk at the Springfield Cancer Center. You can head on out and walk to benefit several funds that help breast cancer survivors. The after-party celebration will be held at Mother Stewart's Brewery. Now, the event kicks off at 4:30 and the walk kicks off at 5:30.
Our time right now is 6:38. Don't forget you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather's on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
You'd be very ghoulish not to come to Kings Island Halloween Haunt coming up. We're talking attractions that will make you scream.
Oh, dad jokes for the win. You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
I think they're happy.
A sign life is returning to normal. These dolphins seem to be quite chipper after Ian cleared out of the Tampa region. Now to Abingdon, Virginia, and other members of the animal kingdom. This toad was spotted keeping cozy under some moss.
For more content like this, follow the National Weather Desk on Twitter.
Weather patio this morning, waking up to a very chilly start to the day out here. No matter where you're at this morning, you're going to want to make sure you're bundled up. I got the dress on today, and I wore pants the last 2 mornings knowing it was cold. Today, it just feels even worse because I'm obviously not dressed for the weather. The heavier jacket definitely helps though, so make sure you got that handy. Now, we are sitting clear and temperatures are in the lower 40s, so it's chilly to start off our morning. A lot of us are experiencing some light frost in spots as temperatures are back into the mid to upper 30s and lower 40s early today, so it is just going to stay cold across the board. Once we hit this afternoon, the good news is, though, since it is clear, since we are expecting to see sunshine, we'll warm up a little bit more and have temperatures reach back into the mid to upper 60s and lower 70s, so definitely going to experience a little bit more of a pleasant afternoon. By the end of the day, though, there's a pretty good chance we'll see increase in cloud cover due to the remnants of Ian arriving, so I'll definitely have a more detailed look at that coming up in a few minutes.
Here this morning, boo to you from our crew. That's a good one. Halloween Haunt at Kings Island is ready for you to stop in for a hauntingly good time.
The fully transformed park will feature 6 bone-chilling haunted mazes, 4 scare zones, 3 sinister live shows, and some of the most hair-raising night rides on the planet. These are fun words to say. Dayton 24/7 Now's Alex King is live there this morning with a look inside. Alex?
That's right. Just like you said, Nathan, there are 4 scare zones, and we are at one of them here behind us. You can see the pumpkin eater here. I'm here with Chad Showwater, who's Director of Communications. Talk a little bit about this scare zone.
Well, the great thing about scare zones is you don't have to wait in line. Our guests can come in, walk through. It's loaded up with scare actors who are themed to the area. This is Pumpkin Eater. So, of course, our star for this scare zone is Peter, the pumpkin eater, and he did some things we can't talk about on morning television, but he's in there to greet you and to interact with you and, scare the living daylights out of you as well.
My goodness. I love that. That's one thing I love about coming to Halloween Haunt is just all the characters walking around, just unexpectedly coming up to you. Talk about some of the other scare zones.
Yeah, we have 4 scare zones throughout the park, and that's what a lot of our guests come to see. One of them, our new one, is Alien X. It's over in Area 72, which is an extraterrestrial space travel type area in the park, themed area in the park. And Alien X fits right into that. So we're enhancing the story and continuing the story of that area. That's our new one. We have them all throughout the park as well. You never know when you're going to come across one, and our scare actors love to just interact with everybody who comes through.
I love that so much. There's really something for everyone here. We're going to talk about some more kid-friendly attractions as well coming up, but stick with us because we're actually going to head over to the graveyard coming up next. Live in Kings Mills, Alex King, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
This is the graveyard. Ooh, sorry, I got really
We shall
excited.
see. All right, 6:40 the highlight time right now. Another big week for NASA. Coming up at 6, the amazing photos released by the James Webb Telescope and NASA's most recent mission.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now News.
This morning, it is another chilly start to the day for us here in the Miami Valley, but we're also watching Hurricane Ian, now again a Category 1 hurricane, expected to make landfall a little later on this morning, early afternoon for those that live off the coast of the Carolinas. So we're definitely keeping a close eye on that because eventually it impacts us here. And even on this radar loop, you can actually see cloud cover into West Virginia starting to increase due to the remnants of Ian as well. So eventually we get those. We're sitting clear at this point. We don't have any major issues besides maybe a little frost out there with those mid to upper 30s in spots. A live look at the skyline right now. Wouldn't be surprised if some of those are Ian's clouds making their way closer to us here too. Temperatures are going to stay a little cooler out there this morning. Trying to combine all my words there, but by the end of the day today, we're back in the upper 60s and lower 70s. And again, seeing that cloud cover really increase by the end of the day today and then into tomorrow morning, maybe seeing an isolated shower or two due to those remnants. But a lot of us end up just staying dry. It's like he's teasing us. Ian is definitely going to move closer and then just pull right back before we get the rain because we really could use some of that rainfall as well. As you can see, it does eventually make its way to southeastern Ohio, parts of central Ohio, and then eventually just kind of dissipate and make its way back out of the Miami Valley and just up the East Coast as a tropical depression and remnants at that too. We do stay very windy though on Sunday into Monday, and then we are anticipating a little bit more of a mild week next week with the upper 60s and lower 70s.
Mark Zuckerberg says his company is making progress on using artificial intelligence to create videos. The Meta CEO posted a 20-second clip on Facebook to demonstrate the company's make-a-video research. It shows short videos that were generated using terms like a teddy bear painting a self-portrait and a baby sloth with a knitted hat trying to figure out a laptop. Those videos aren't perfect. They're low resolution. The baby sloth doesn't really look like an actual sloth. But Zuckerberg says it's harder for AI to generate videos from words than still images. And he says Meta plans to share a demo in the future.
Well, NASA is pushing out more amazing photos from the James Webb Telescope. Take a look. This is the aftermath of NASA's most recent mission. I wouldn't really call it an aftermath, though. The Hubble and James Webb telescopes were pointed at the asteroid struck by the Darke spacecraft on Monday. That marked the first time NASA was able to purposely crash into an asteroid and potentially change its trajectory. Images from the telescopes were taken before and after, and it appears clouds of material were ejected from the asteroid after contact. Scientists will use this information from both telescopes in order to learn more about the crash and its overall impact. How crazy is that?
Yeah, that is wild.
That is crazy. I wish they could tell us like if it worked. I mean, I know it's going to take time to figure that out, but it's like it's so incredible to me.
I just keep thinking about Armageddon. Like, it's so funny. Like, that movie was like 20s.
Don't want to close my
yeah, a little Aerosmith. I just keep thinking
That's
about
all I think about.
Bruce Willis on that asteroid, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just kind of weird how that was like such a crazy movie as an idea like 20-some years ago, and now they're doing it.
It's got to be longer than 20-some years ago.
Probably end of the 90s, so yeah, it'd probably be about 25, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, it has to be, because I remember it as a kid.
Yeah.
So,
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that song, the song endures. The song endures every middle school dance from here until the end of time.
That is true, though. That makes me want to, yeah.
Yeah, lucky us. Our time right now, 6:51. Coming up, a new bipartisan measure could give states more power against big tech companies when it could head to the Senate.
Coming up here on GMA, it is all about Ian, not just the aftermath that we will bring the pictures, the rescues ongoing, all of the people that we met that survived this storm, and the first responders doing that great work. But Ian's path, because it's a hurricane again. South Carolina should take the brunt of it, but North Carolina, parts of Georgia need to be on the lookout. I'm going to be tracking that. We'll bring you full team coverage right here.
Here in the Buckeye State, more members of Ohio Task Force 1 heading to Florida to assist with the aftermath of Hurricane Ian. Mamie Baugh explains when they're going to arrive and what they're going to be doing.
Any minute now, 36 additional members will join rescue efforts. Now, they'll be working with the team of 47 that deployed before Hurricane Ian slammed Florida, leaving parts of it unrecognizable. By the afternoon, you will have 83 Ohio Task Force personnel assisting Floridians to pick up the pieces after the deadly hurricane.
For us to be able to go down there and provide that assistance, help them locate those people and solve those problems, where people are, who's missing, and rescue the necessary people. That is our goal.
At this time, it's unclear how long the task force will be in Florida to assist. Back to you.
This morning, local churches are now stepping up to help provide relief to those left devastated. Epiphany Lutheran Church is collecting money. Church members will be at the Centerville Fall Festival this weekend to collect donations. The church says the money will go a long way to helping people recover from the damage. The church will have a booth set up at the festival on Sunday from noon to 5. They say 100% of the proceeds will go to the Lutheran Disaster Response Team to help. Now, you can also contribute online as well as at theepiphanydayton.org.
Roller coasters aren't the only attractions making people scream at Kings Island right now. Halloween Haunt has officially kicked off with all kinds of bone-chilling experiences. Dayton 24/7 Now's Alex King is live at the park this morning. And Alex, what can you tell us?
Well, you can come to Halloween Haunt here at the amusement park on Friday and Saturday nights, and also on some select Sundays as well through October 29th. The fully transformed park will feature 6 bone-chilling haunted mazes, 4 scare zones, 3 sinister live shows, and some of the most hair-raising night rides on the planet. This year, there are actually 4 new terrifying experiences: the haunted maze called Hotel St. Michelle, a scare zone called Alien X, a new show called Nightwalkers, and that's going to have some aerobatic and action sports world meets zombies, and then a new show called Terror Rising. It's Terror and Evil Have Risen. Of course, we're going to be out here all morning long showing you all the exciting attractions here at Kings Island. We're going to head over to a graveyard coming up next.
Today is the first annual Pink Honor Walk at the Springfield Cancer Center. You can head out and walk to benefit several funds that help breast cancer survivors. The after-party celebration is going to be held at Mother Stewart's Brewery. The event starts at 4:30 and the walk kicks off at 5:30.
The 19th annual Rubber Duck Regatta kicks off today. It's hosted by United Rehabilitation Services to benefit local kids and adults served by the organization. The event begins tonight at 8:15 and will include a virtual duck drop option. Ducks are $5 a piece or 6 for $25. 13 and 28 duck options also available. Prize winners will be announced at the finale event.
Centerville Fall Fest returns to Stubbs Park on Sunday starting at noon. You can head over and see 75 local artisans, merchants, shops, and food trucks, not to mention the Oktoberfest beer garden with local brews. There's going to be fall family activities like hay rides, inflatables, and free pumpkins. Epiphany Lutheran Church will be collecting donations to help relief efforts in Florida. The event and parking are totally free.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Dayton 24/7 Now is going pink for the Women's Wellness Fund. Join us Wednesday, October 5th for an all-day telethon to raise awareness for breast cancer treatment and cures. You can donate now by texting PINK to 345-345 or by scanning the QR code on your screen.
Right now, you're getting a live look at 70 westbound at Crestway Road and Hoke Road, where there is an incident that has the right to